everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Now today I'm doing a giveaway of Witchwood packs as a thank you to those of you that have subscribed to my channel, as a thank you for all of your support. I'll be giving away 60 packs in total, and that'll be 30 packs to 2 winners of the giveaway. So, to have a chance of winning, simply leave a comment on this video telling me what your favourite wild or standard mode deck is in the current Witchwood meta. If you want to leave a deck code, please do, but you don't have to. The deadline will be 1 week, and I'll be drawing the 2 winners on Saturday, the 28th of April at 9 AM UK time. So there'll be some further instructions in the description of this video on how I'll get in contact with you and what you need to do, so please have a read of that. And today I'll be playing Dane's Reno Hunter. Now Reno Hunter is sort of an interesting place at the moment. Some people love Reno Hunter, some people don't see the point of it, especially when you compare it to other Reno style decks like Reno Warlock, Reno Priest, and you know, Reno Hunter, I guess back when Reno was first introduced, everyone got excited and thought, ooh, Reno Hunter, we can make this work. And it didn't work. But I think as each expansion has come and gone, Reno Hunter has improved just a little bit each time. It's had maybe a couple of new tools or toys to play with that's made it just a little bit better. And I think now it's probably more viable than ever. And this is Dane's version of the deck, and there are some interesting cards in here. A couple of interesting additions from the Witchwood expansion. Houndmaster Shaw is in this deck. Now, I'm a big fan of this card, a big believer in it. It's phenomenal. And when I was watching Dane playing this Reno Hunter on his stream or on YouTube, Houndmaster Shaw was doing a lot of work for Dane. It was winning him back board control. And maybe that's just something that Reno Hunter has needed. I don't know. Emeriss is in this deck too. Feels like a bit of a meme card in some ways. It costs 10, so it's ridiculously expensive. But if you have a handful of cards and you play Emeriss, I mean, Emeriss as a body is a big threat on the board, so you have to deal with it. But if you have a handful of cards, Emeriss can be game winning, particularly in a slow deck like this, where you may accumulate, you know, a number of cards in your hand. Yeah, Emeriss can be game winning. The key MVP for me in this deck, though, is Deathstalker Rexxar. The ability to make these zombie beasts, which can have rush effects, poison effects, taunt effects, charge effects. It's pretty insane. It can find you lethal over 2 or 3 turns, or give you cards that deal with specific scenarios on the board. So yeah, the sooner you can get Deathstalker Rexxar down, the better. You start getting that insane value. Oh, and let's not forget Enzoth the Corruptor in this deck as well. There is this Death Rattle army that you've got. And another cool addition is Mind Control Tech. When's the last time you saw MC Tech played competitively? It's pretty good. So, let's have a look at a couple of highlights of this Reno Hunter deck in action. And we're starting out here against a warrior. Now, this was an incredibly lengthy game, so we're just joining it partway through. But look at this Spirit Singer Umbra Value. I wasn't expecting this. Play dead on the cube, which gives me some Sludge Belchers. 2 Sludge Belchers. Draw last, of course, because we're good at the game. 2 Sludge Belchers, 2 Oozers, and of course the cube itself will still get double Sludge Belcher. So this was a pretty fun combo, and it was quite unexpected. And this warrior, who I think is like a fatigue style warrior, control warrior, Even with Brawl, this is a ridiculously hard board to deal with. As I say, there are two Belchers still stuck in that cube. Now, how a cube eats a Belcher, I'm not entirely sure, but there are two Belchers in the belly of that cube. So whatever he does here, it's going to take him 2 or 3 turns just to try and clear this board. So yeah, the value of this deck on show with the cube and Umbra. And we just skip forward a little bit here, just playing a 10-10 Sylvanas casually, just for the value, not for the value, sorry, for the body. And if he gets rid of it, well, we have Enzoth the Corruptor. Oh look, there are 2 Enzoths in my hand. That's disgusting value. Stitch Tracker discovered me 1 copy of Enzoth. And he doesn't know that. He doesn't know I've got 2. But what is scary about this game against this slow fatigue style warrior is that I may not even need to play 1 copy of Enzoth, let alone 2. Just the minion value alone has been enough to give me an advantage in this game. The Death Knight hero power has just been enough in terms of value gaining. We don't even need Enzoth. That's what's crazy here. So, of course, play the hero power last because we're good at this game. Oh, sometimes I forget and then I realise, oh, I should have ordered that differently. But, I mean, look, it doesn't even matter here. It doesn't even matter. The Lich King gives us this phenomenal buff effect. We even have a Wind Fury minion on board. And how does he deal with this? How does he deal with this board? It's just crazy. Super buffed up Enzoth there. But yeah, we didn't even need it. So that was a pretty sweet win against the warrior. But now moving on to something a little more challenging perhaps, a mage. Now, I reckon it would be Secrets Mage at this sort of rank on the ladder. Reno Mage is a possibility, but you don't see many Reno Mages anymore. Secrets Mage, Tempo Mage, Big Spell Mage with Spiteful Summoner. You've got sort of control style mages that run the Artificer and Jaina. I guess that's control mage to some degree. So Primordial Glyph infers that it could be, it could be Reno Mage. I think Reno Mage can run the glyph, but it's more likely to be a bit more of an aggressive mage, probably a Secrets Mage or a Tempo Mage. It's going to aim to burst me down. Now the key here, of course, is Reno Jackson in hand. He can do all the damage he wants to my face. He can burst me down as much as he wants, and I'll just play Reno on turn 6, heal up to 30 and laugh at him. That's the key with Reno decks. If you have Reno in hand against aggressive decks, if you're not dead by turn 5, then on your turn 6 you probably win the game. So, 4 mana to play with. I'm going to play the Beetle here, I think, because then I can weave in hero power. Oh, explosive runes. But, oh, I gained 3 armor. It's as if I took no damage. 30 health total. That's pretty cool. So next turn I can play the tracker and weave in hero power. But there's a Flame Waker, and it looks like he's going for some kind of a board clear here. Yeah. And he's going to be hoping that that Flame Waker is going to stick. That's what he's going to be hoping for here. So I need to do everything in my power to remove that card as quickly as possible. And 4 health, facing off against 4 attacks seems sensible, but the chances are he's going to clear it. of course, both juggles hit the minion, of course. And a Frostbolt, sure. Oh, it doesn't die. Right. But it will die next turn. So my plan there is sort of foiled. So we look for something useful. The Shredder looks good to me, but sure. Ooh, no, the Shredder, because it's going to be discounted. So, if in doubt, just play stuff, I think, is the saying that's relevant here. Just play stuff, and something will survive, and we'll trade that something into the Flame Waker. Now, use Play Dead here on the Scientist, just to get the secret out. The reason is that I just want to cash in on that value for the secret now. I may be able to feign Freezing Trap, and he may not attack with the Flame Waker. That could be significant. Or if he thinks it's Explosive Trap, he may not go face with it. There's you know, various bits of psychology there that you can employ. We'll see though. He's really thinking about it. And yes, he does go face. Okay. And it is Wandering Monster. This is good. Oh, it doesn't die either. That's awesome. So we get a minion on board. It's alive. And it's going to buff our weapon as well when we hero power. That's pretty cool. But most importantly, we can kill the Flame Waker. That's the key here. The question is, how do we want to go about ordering our turn? So the weapon buff is certainly happening. And we just go face. May as well swing the weapon face. 4 damage. Seems reasonable. Okay, so we're in a really good position here. We're in a really good position. Our health total is still relatively respectable, and we have Reno in hand. He isn't going to be able to do enough damage to us to kill us this game. Double Mana Worm, that's what you want on turn 1 and turn 2. It just feels like it's too late for him here. And yeah, this game's over. So, pretty cool victory there against what turned out to be a Tempo Mage. Okay, let's look at one final game, and I'm going up against a rogue. So I've got 2 weapons in hand, a 1 and a 2 cost weapon. I'm going to keep the 1, and I'm going to look for some cheap minions here. Okay, so the Beetle is cheap. That's reasonable. I'm going to play the weapon, but I'm not going to attack with it. I'm going to hold the weapon. It's good for trading into minions. That's my logic here. The Beetle is a solid body. Not sure what the Ghoul is going to do in this game. It's really good against Dude Paladin, obviously, but not really sure what it's going to do against a rogue. Scientist is reasonably good pickup, and I may just swing one to the face there. Nothing much is happening. Just get one shot in. We can decide later if we want to use the remaining 2 charges on his face, or if we want to save them for a minion. He's not doing very much here. He's been quite passive. Okay. And now, because we've drawn the second weapon, May as well use the charges on this current weapon. That makes sense now. So we have a Curve, we have Sludge Belcher, we have Sylvanas. Feels reasonable. Rotten Applebaum. What kind of a rogue is this? This is not obvious. Now, there's... How can I do this? So, if I quick glaive Zuka, I get 2 attack with my hero. 2 on the ghoul, plus 1. I can clear. But, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do this. We have a secret up, and I have a weapon in play. So, maybe I can get the buff on the weapon here. On the Eaglehorn bow. Let's see what happens. Okay. He's taking this game incredibly slowly. Incredibly slowly. Find it interesting. What kind of a rogue is he? Next turn, you can just play Sylvanas. See what happens. Oh, there's Enzoth. So, now playing Sylvanas seems fine. If he targets her and kills her, we'll just resurrect her. The fact that he's passing all of these turns is quite interesting. And also quite worrying. I mean, you wonder... What's coming? Something big must be coming. What's he gonna do in a couple of turns? Well, maybe we can just kill him before that big thing comes. Faceless Manipulator. And a secret. Interesting. Huh. So. Do you know what I'm thinking here? I'm thinking it could be the secret that forces the minion to attack one of its neighbours. I forget what it's called. So I'm actually just going to quick shot my Sylvanas. Go... Oh, okay. Evasion. Right. It's not the secret that I was hoping for. Because then the Sylvanas would have hit the Belcher and stolen his Sylvanas. So yeah. Next level plays not working out for me, unfortunately. But, yeah, the creativity was there. The idea was sound. It just didn't work out as expected. Okay. And my hero power did no damage, so I should have hero powered first. Misplay. Okay. Anyway, with the Sylvanas down, it'll be interesting to see if he can leverage it to steal one of my minions. I guess in this situation he'd want to steal a Belcher, potentially. No, he's gonna steal, sure. How interesting. So now his minions are gonna have Rush. And he's not attacking face. Very smart. Still waiting on the value of this bow for this bow here, and he's denying it. Interesting. So Enzoth could be interesting, but I want to get a bit more value, I think. So Sludge Belcher seems sound. Now I could throw face with my weapon. I could damage him to set up Glaive Zuka next turn, but I don't think there's a need here. I don't think there's a need. If I can weave in the hero power over the next 2 or 3 turns, he's going to be dead anyway, so why rush things? So there's a second copy of Sap. And he really doesn't want to go face. So the presence of this Eaglehorn bow and the secret is really sort of screwing with him here. And yeah, just weave in the hero power. And I just want to hold because I'm really determined to get value on this bow. I'm really determined to make it happen. I mean, swinging with the bow probably sets up easy lethal, but as I say, I'm willing to take things slowly. I'm waiting for some kind of healing to come down by this rogue. His deck is really strange, and is it a mill rogue? And we see Vanish there. That's really confusing. Okay, so I could go face, I could hero power, I could set up lethal for the following turn with another hero power, but you know what? I don't care. I want to play Emeriss. I just want to play it. Be reborn in the heart. Because we actually have a handful of minions here, so we're actually getting some benefit. Too often in the past when I've played Emeriss in this deck, Emeriss has been the only minion left in my hand, and so I play Emeriss and I get 0 value. So here I actually get to see Emeriss getting me value, and that makes me very, very happy. So missing the opportunity for lethal just so I could play Emeriss, it's all cool. And look, he's investing everything to deal with Emeriss. Okay, Huffer, let's go. No, always Misha, always Misha. Okay. Well, do you know what? We'll put the rogue out of his misery. We'll set up for that lethal now. And of course, this is where he'll surprise me and heal himself, right? Somehow. Earthen Ring Farseer.
Death does not scare me.
No. Wow. Okay. So, again, the question, what kind of a rogue is this? Assuming it's some kind of mill or fatigue rogue. You see the Deathlord there. And we saw Vanish. But it looks like he just couldn't get his cards going for him. So yeah, that was a pretty sweet win. And I got to play Emeriss and actually get some value. So, Dane's Reno Hunter. Yes, this deck has been doing work for me, and it's tremendously fun to play. Yeah, give it a go if you've got the cards. The joy about Reno decks is that you can swap cards in, swap them out. There's a lot of flexibility, particularly depending on what you're facing at, on the ladder. If you're going up against a lot of aggro decks, there are certain cards that you'd probably want to include. So you may want to include Explosive Trap, for example. If you're going up against a lot of slow control style decks, maybe you want to include a couple more heavy Death Rattle minions. So lots of considerations, lots of flexibility. Regardless, this deck has been doing good work for me. I've won more games with the deck than I've lost, so that's always a good sign, clearly. And yeah, I will continue playing this deck. Flare is a very interesting addition. Does very well against paladins that play secrets. There's still some out there. Does great against mage. This is wild mode, so ice block is still a thing, and it does really well against other hunters. So Flare is an interesting addition which I like a lot. And, of course, Unstable Ghoul against Dude Paladin is pretty strong too. So, yeah, fun deck. I'd like to play around with Houndmaster Shaw a little bit more. Dane got an incredible amount of value with Shaw when he was playing this deck. I haven't had as much value yet with Shaw, at least, not as much value as Dane. I've had some value, but I'd like to get more. So, yeah, Houndmaster Shaw is a card I've got my eye on. I'm very high on the card. I just need to play around with it a little bit more and sort of explore more efficient ways of playing with it. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to continue on producing more wild mode content, looking at more wild mode decks that I think are viable based on the Witchwood expansion. Do get yourselves involved with the packs giveaway. The instructions are in the video description below, so do subscribe and get yourselves involved with that. And I'll see you guys all again very soon for more wild mode fun.